please come on in and welcome to the Arctic Circle Bakery. Don't mind me, I was just playing with the thermostat here. These 10 degree above zero days just get a little warm for me up here, so, but yes, welcome to the finest bakery in the North Pole. It's just kind of a little joke that we have, that we like to say, because we are in fact the only bakery in the North Pole, and therefore we are the best by default. But in all honesty, we do carry a very wide selection of excellent baked goods, so I'm sure that you won't leave here disappointed. What can I get for you today? Where are you visiting from? Oh, okay, so you've come quite a long distance to get here, haven't you? It's quite a long journey from there to the North Pole, so what brings you up here? You heard that this bakery was the best in the world? Well, not to brag, but yes, we do have very high quality baked goods. Obviously, we elves are known for our excellent baking skills. There are, of course, many talented human bakers, but none of them can quite match the magical talents of us elves. So, yes, we do have some excellent baked goods here, and I'm sure that you won't leave disappointed, as I said. So, what can I get for you today? You're not entirely sure what we carry? Yes, we are working on Snowflake to get one of those, what do you humans call them? Website thingies up there on the internet thingy, so that we can have humans see what we have available. But for now, I'll be happy to just run through our list with you and let you know what we have available, okay? Since you've never been here, I'll run through the full list. So, we have cakes. I'm just going to take a few notes for your order as well, okay? So, we have cakes, we have sheet cakes, and layer cakes, and cupcakes, and petite fours, and of course all of those come in a variety of flavors. Note of the cakes? Okay. We have kind of a seasonal favorite, gingerbread, and this is just buttery, delicious, melt in your mouth gingerbread, and we have that in gingerbread cookies, and gingerbread people, and gingerbread houses, so you can put your little gingerbread people in the little houses. I know you humans are always told to not play with your food, but in this case we greatly encourage it. And on the subject of gingerbread houses, we also have a variety of those themselves, from cute little cottages all the way up to large gingerbread castles. Gonna pass on the gingerbread too? Okay, no problem. We have various types of candies, hard and soft candies. Our hard candies include candy canes, candy ribbons, butterscotch drops, toffees, and brittles. Yes, brittles would be like peanut brittle or pumpkin seed brittle. You've never had pumpkin seed brittle? It's really quite tasty, and I definitely recommend trying it at least some point in your life. Are you a fan of peanut brittle at all? Not really? Okay, in that case you might not like the pumpkin seed brittle either, because it's very similar to the peanut brittle, but it's made with actual pumpkin seeds instead of peanuts. So it's a slightly different texture, a little bit of a different taste, but I personally really like it. I like to have that after my mid-afternoon hot chocolate every day. So a little cup of mid-afternoon hot chocolate with a little cinnamon sprinkled in and some pumpkin seed brittle. Can't be beat, but sounds like that might not be for you. So we also offer soft candies. And soft candies would be things like truffles or peanut butter cups or bonbons, things like that. No on the soft candy as well? Okay. We do have some world famous peppermint patties. We're very generous with the peppermint, and then there's a lovely layer of rich dark chocolate surrounding the ice cool peppermint. You're allergic to peppermint? Okay, no peppermint patties for you then. Okay, we also bake a wide variety of pies. We have pumpkin pie and apple pie and peach pie and blueberry pie. We carry some of the non-fruit pies as well. So we have pecan pie, rhubarb pie. We also have grape pie. I forgot to mention that one in the fruit pies. Lemon meringue pie, chocolate cream pie, and mincemeat pie, though that is not one of our most popular pies. It is a smaller audience that enjoys that, so if you don't know the preferences of your guests or wherever you might be taking these baked goods, I wouldn't recommend the mincemeat pie. In fact, I think my grandfather is the only being that I know of that eats mincemeat pie. Perhaps there are more among you humans who do, but among us elves, my grandfather is the only elf I know that ever ate mincemeat pie, but it is an option if you're so inclined. You're going to think about the pies? Okay, well then we'll just put a little circle next to those and come back to it, okay? So we also offer cobblers, a variety of cobblers, mostly fruit, so that would be like cherry cobbler, peach cobbler, blueberry cobbler, raspberry cobbler, things like that. No to the cobblers? Okay. We are very famous for our cookies. We offer a very large variety of those in a myriad of flavors and shapes. And our current offerings for this season are sugar cookies, peanut butter chocolate cookies, ginger snaps, chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, oatmeal raisin, s'more cookies, oatmeal scotchies, molasses, coconut, and chocolate chip. The chocolate chip are very rich. Some of the ingredients are similar to what you would find in a brownie mix. And then, of course, there are very generous amounts of chocolate chips mixed in, so it's really quite the chocolate explosion. And we can, of course, frost them in chocolate if you would like. Are those available in cutouts? Yes, all of our cookies are available in festive cutouts, and the way we do that is we actually bake the cookies and then we cut them out with the cutter so that they don't lose shape in the baking process. I don't know if you've ever made like ginger snaps, but if you have like a cow cookie cutter and you cut out the little cows and then you put them in to bake, by the time they come out of the oven, the cows kind of look like sheep, they've kind of lost their original shape. So that's why we do post-bake cookie cutting. But yes, if you would like chocolate chip cutouts, we can absolutely do that. You think you'd like to do that? Okay then. Now, we have three options when it comes to cookies. We have full, partial, and starter batches. Now, the full batch means that the cookies are delivered to you completely done. We have cut them and baked them and decorated them, and they'll be packaged up beautifully when they arrive. The other two options are for people who want to take a little credit in the baking process. So we can deliver them in a partial batch, which means that we will make the cookies with our tasty secret recipes, and then we will bake them and do all the cutting and deliver them to you like that. So that way they are all set and ready to go to be decorated, so you get to take credit for all the decorating. Or we do also offer the starter batch, which is we will make our dough, again with our tasty secret recipe, and we will deliver the dough to you in a refrigerated container, so you can keep that in your fridge until you're ready to actually do the baking. And at that point you can take out the container of dough and go ahead and bake it and make your cutouts, and that way you really get to show off a little of your decorating and baking skills. And you can even say that you made the dough and no one will know, except for maybe the big man at the North Pole. You know who I mean, but I'm sure he'll forgive you for that. You want to go with the fully finished cookies? Okay, no problem. And would you like those to be the traditional recipe, or we also have gluten-free and vegan options? You want to go with the gluten-free because you're gluten sensitive? Okay. Now, we do frequently use quinoa in our gluten-free recipe. So I will ask, do you have any sensitivity to quinoa? Yes, it is a little bit rare, but it does occur. So we always ask. It gives the gluten-free dough a good texture, but if you have a sensitivity to quinoa, then we can replace it with something else. As I said, it is a rare sensitivity, but it does occur. I myself have a sensitivity to quinoa, and it makes me very sick when I eat it, and it actually took me years to figure that out, because my mother is gluten intolerant, so she would always use it in her baking, and it was not an instant reaction. It would be several hours before I didn't feel well, so I never made the connection between not feeling well and her cookies. It took me several years, and I finally figured out that every time she baked chocolate chip cookies, I didn't feel well afterward, and it never used to affect me. And then I realized it was when she started using the quinoa, and so there have been a few other times when I've unknowingly gotten some quinoa, and then I end up just feeling terrible a few hours later. It's quite common in gluten-free recipes, and I just don't think of it because it's not that common in baking unless you're going gluten-free. So I tend to forget about it, and then, as soon as I start feeling bad, I'm going, oh no, there must have been quinoa in that, and I go back and I look at, the package of noodles or whatever, and one of the ingredients is quinoa. So that's why we always ask, but again, it's very rare, so if you've never noticed it, you're probably fine. Quinoa's good with you? Okay. Do you have any other sensitivities or allergies that we should be aware of? There is dairy and sugar in the frosting, but we can change that if that's a problem. That's all fine? Okay. And what is your preference for cookie texture? Do you like them kind of airy and cake-like, or dry and crispy? Yes, believe it or not, some people do like them crispy. I don't really understand it either. Not my personal preference, but we cater to everyone here. So, and then of course we have the soft and chewy. You'd like to go with that? Okay, yeah, that's actually my personal favorite way to have a cookie. So, just a little bit, of the inside of the cookie. I don't want to say underdone, but is not as done as the rest of it. Just kind of soft and chewy. So good. Now, we do offer a wide variety of cutout shapes. So I'll go through the list of those, and you can tell me which ones you would like us to use on your cookies, okay? So, Santa Claus, of course, it's a classic this time of year. Snowman, okay. Angels, all right. Stars, okay. Elves, and please don't feel nervous about the fact that I am an elf. If you don't want elf cookies, we're not going to judge you for that. You would actually like some of those, okay. Christmas stocking. You're going to pass on that one because you don't think everyone will recognize the shape? Okay, no stockings. How about a gift box? Yeah, it's square and it's got like the little bow on top. Yes to that one? Okay. What about bells? Sure, why not? Okay. Christmas tree? Yes, okay. Snowflake? Okay. And we have one in the shape of the large Christmas light bulbs, so it is a little difficult to see, possibly. I don't know how adventurous you want to get. You're going to skip that one? Okay. We have wrapped candy, the little circle with the little pieces of wrapping hanging on the outside, the shape. Yes to that? Okay. A nutcracker soldier? Yes. Okay. Mitten? You're going to skip that one? Okay. How about a polar bear? You might skip that one as well. Okay. Gingerbread house? Yeah, it just kind of looks like a little house, log cabin. We call it the gingerbread house, but that doesn't actually have to be what it is. Yes to the gingerbread house. Okay. We have some elf shoes. You're going to skip those because you're not sure people will recognize them? No problem. No, I'm totally not offended. That's fine. Candy cane? Yes, okay. How about reindeer? Yes to the reindeer. Santa's sleigh? Yeah, that one is not our most recognizable cookie cutter. It is a little difficult to tell what that one is, so unless you really want a sleigh, I actually don't recommend that one. You'll go ahead and skip it? Okay. And then we do have a round Christmas ornament. You definitely want one of those. Okay. And finally, for a fun little something different, we do have a leg lamp. Yes, from the human movie there, A Christmas Story. You'd like a few of those as well. Okay, great. Now, as far as the decorative frosting, do you want vanilla, chocolate, both? Yeah, if you want really vibrant colors, I would recommend going with the vanilla. It's just a lot easier to put the coloring in. Okay. And do you want them to all be like a solid color, or do you want them fully decorated, multiple colors on each cookie. Multiple colors on each cookie. Okay. And what size order are we doing here? 13 dozen. Okay. Got a large family gathering coming. Both sides of the family are coming for Christmas Eve. Okay, well, that should be very exciting then, huh? Would you just like kind of an even assortment of each of the different cutters in that 13 dozen? Yeah? Okay. And what is the delivery date that you would like for these cookies? Christmas Eve morning? Okay. And do you want the container the cookies come in gift wrapped? No gift wrap? Okay. Would you like them delivered in a basket or a box? Well, in the box, they'll be delivered in an airtight box. If you choose the basket option, they will be individually wrapped for freshness. Does that waste a lot of plastic? Actually, no, because we don't use plastic bags. We would never desecrate one of our delicious cookies by putting it in something like plastic, because that can really add a plasticky taste to it, and it just could totally ruin the cookie experience. So actually, here at the Arctic Circle Bakery, we make our own bags out of 100% plant fiber that we gather from all the little cold-dwelling plants here in the Arctic Circle, and we use that plant fiber to make our own bag containers. So they are also 100% compostable. You can eat the cookies and go out and throw them in your compost. They're not going to break down into microplastics or anything like that. And of course, you'll avoid that nasty plastic flavor from rubbing off. So that sounds pretty good to you? Gonna go with the basket option then? Okay. And would you like a ribbon on the basket? Yes, okay. Any preference as far as color or pattern? We have a wide variety of ribbons, which we also make here up in the Arctic Circle. Just something bright and festive? Okay, no problem. Now, for the ordering information, can I get your name, please? Okay. And your location? Oh yes, doesn't matter where it is. We're elves, we can deliver anywhere. Okay. Now, do you have a phone number? Or we can always send you a message by Caribou if necessary. You do have a number, okay. Yeah, we actually don't have phones up here, which is probably why you came all this way, but we should look into getting one of those little human phone thingies. Let's see, how are you planning to pay for this? Do you want to pay for it now or on delivery? Just right now? Okay. Let me just run that through our machine. Alright, here you go. And one of our elf messengers will see you bright and early on Christmas Eve morning, okay? So, thank you for making the long journey here to the Arctic Circle Bakery, and we hope that you have a wonderful holiday and greatly enjoy your cookies, okay? We'll see you soon.